G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 14 of my Beginner's Fire Pets Cabalist playthrough. Last episode we finished up the city of Malmouth, so that's this part here done, and all that we have left on normal is kind of the last little bit of Forgotten Gods. And if I'm being honest, we can probably skip that. I think I'm going to do it anyway, but you can definitely skip this and just head into Ultimate. Before you do head into Ultimate, though, there's a few things you want to do. Firstly, you want to bank all your stuff. You probably want to do the hidden path, although this is entirely skippable. You can just ignore this and then walk straight into the Ultimate hidden path, and you'll be good to go there. You will get, if you do the Ultimate hidden path, you will get the normal, elite, and ultimate skill points and attribute points all in one go. So that is definitely an option. But the biggest thing you want to do is you want to look at all your monster infrequents here. Like this ring is level 39. I'm level 60. That's a 21 level old ring. Probably should be replaced. The book is not so bad since it wasn't too long ago that I got it. But these gloves, definitely. Perdition is level 40, and it is high armor for level 40, but for level 60, not so much. These boots are okay. They're not amazing, but they're okay. So they're probably fine. Same with these. 50, 55 at level 60 is probably fine. Pants, probably fine. The chest guard of Perdition also needs to go. I do have the Coven Lifebinder stuff, which you can buy from this guy or this girl right here, Falinestra. She will sell them to you. So you can go ahead and buy Coven Lifebinder and Coven Lifebinder, vestments and mantle. Don't buy the helmet. It is a pet helmet, but so is the Ascendant Cowl, and the Ascendant Cowl is just kind of better. So don't go buying that. So yes, we need to go around to all the different parts of normal that we got our monster infrequents from, so you can go get a new weapon. The biggest thing you want from a weapon is 100% physical and vitality to fire conversion. Honestly, 94% is probably fine. So this weapon is likely fine until level 100. But mostly you want to check your armor. You want to do rings if you can. Maybe if your Death Watcher pendant is kind of whatever, like this one is, it could be worth going and resetting that vendor a whole bunch of times. Maybe you can get something better. So upgrade all your armor, and I think I am going to go and do the end of the Forgotten God stuff. Skipping Korvac is probably not a horrible idea, but we'll see how we go. Destroying the Messenger and killing Korvac as well does have some decent quest rewards, but you can get the quest rewards for those quests just out of a treasure trove, and actually I'm kind of talking myself out of doing these quests. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and kill, we'll go kill Thalnosh a couple times, see if we can't get some better rings. I did pick up these gloves, which, as you can see, these are level 55 and they're already double. Like, literally double, plus a few extra points on armor. I will lose some health and physique, but these are pretty good. So I'm actually going to swap those in right now. The shoulder and chest, I don't love the level 40 armor, but I do have this one coming. It's 5 levels away, so maybe I could get something as a bit of a stopgap. But I think the rest of my armor is okay. Boots, if I could find Taskmaster's boots, I'd be happy. If I could get a little bit more armor on it, I'd be happy, but these are okay. So let's go kill Thalnosh and see if he can drop us some nice rings. I would love a Bloodsworn Signet with +3 to raise skeletons, because I used to have one of those. And now I'm running around with uncapped skeletons, and that's not something you ever want to be doing as a skeleton build. It's not completely the end of the world, but it's getting close. So we'll just go do a quick run through here. I'm not going to stop and attack anything, but a lot of this stuff is just going to die along the way. This is all level 60, level 59, which is good. Means we will be getting decently leveled rings. What we're looking for on the rings, you're looking for +3 to raise skeletons if you can get it. If you can't, don't stress. Here's +2, here's another +2. We're going to be fine even if it doesn't drop. So ideally, you want something with good resistances. And if I could get my hands... Actually, what I maybe should even just transmute this to the other ring. I think it's another ring, isn't it? Pendant seal. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it's actually an amulet and a medal. But I should have transmuting unlocked, so I should be able to just go and throw a couple of Eldritch Essences at it. See what happens. The other thing that is good to do, or could be good to do depending on what it drops, is these totems. You can just pop them, and you get a lot of blue items out of... Which is... it didn't drop me a single blue item. You do generally get a lot of blue items out of these, and usually not so much in the way of purples. But, yeah, I got purples this time, which is unusual. Also, as long as we're here, and now that I'm looking at it and I've remembered, I did 2 totems and a treasure trove in between episodes. And these are the blueprints that dropped. The Dirge of Arcovia is a Necromancer pet relic, and we are not using it in this build. The Skeletal Servant will actually be converted entirely over to fire because of this weapon. So this will convert physical and vitality, which is the 2 types of damage that the Skeletal Servant here does. The issue with it is 1 pet with an extra attack. And Ancestor here is buffing all of your pets by a lot. This is more damage. So as much as this looks like it should be good, and as much as it is good, it's probably going to be less good, if that makes sense. It does have 12% total speed, though, which is slightly more than Ancestor. I think the crit damage and the 100% elemental kind of puts that over the edge, though. Yeah, the 80% vitality damage on the Dirge of Arcovia is useless. So, yeah. It's probably not that much worse now that I'm looking at it, because it has that 12% total speed. But, yeah, Ancestor is definitely the way to go there. Occult Effigy is just kind of there. Impurity is another Necromancer relic, but this one is more of a I cast spells and kill things kind of relic. Vitality and Aether damage, not bad. And then the Empowered Malformed Effigy, +1 to Occultist. It's poison stuff, we're not really interested. And this one came out of the treasure trove, and I was surprised to see it, because the Prismatic Diamond is really, really good, and I'm going to craft one of these this episode. This has changed, I think, or maybe I'm just misremembering. I seem to remember this not needing that many... The Radiant Gem, yes. The Arcane Spark, yes. I don't remember this needing an Arcane Lens. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember it needing that many Aether Shards either. Prismatic Diamond. Yeah, I don't remember it being that expensive. Anyway, I'm going to make one of these because it's a really good helmet component for hardcore. If you don't get this as a random drop, you can go into the Ancient Grove and go to Vinelton, and he pretty much sells it first time every time. I can't remember the last time I went there to get a Prismatic Diamond, and he didn't just have it the first time I clicked on him. So you should be able to get this first time every time. Having said that, there's probably going to be someone who won't get it first time, and to that person I say, unlucky, try again. And you can refresh that merchant by going to the 2nd level of the Ancient Grove, counting to 10, and then coming back, and it should have it again. It's a very common blueprint. You should have no trouble at all getting it. I'm going to eat it, though. These armors I just picked up, or these shoulders, sorry, I picked up because I was thinking I needed to replace my shoulders, but the Fate Weaver's Mantle, it's 10 levels old, it's not that bad, and the armor is better than these, so I'm going to end up selling that. Anyway, moving on. Hang on, do I have... No, they're fine. I wanted boots, didn't I? Yeah, no boots there. I'm going to go and transmute that other ring before we get too far into this little gear refresh. The other thing you want to do when you're looking at a transition to ultimate is you want to actually go to ultimate and just see what your resistances look like when you're in ultimate. Because this entire top row will get minus 50%. So my elemental resistances will still be 80% in ultimate, and I'll have 9% over maximum, not 59. My poison will actually be, what, 49, 51, something like that? Around about 50%, because this is going to be minus 50. And then piercing is going to be like 30%, so we can fix that with a component. Bleeding, bottom row is minus 25% in ultimate, so bleeding will be like 51%, but I'll have another 15 from the Unholy Inscriptions. That's probably going to be fine. Vitality will be capped, Aether will be capped, Chaos will be 74%. So my resistances going into ultimate are actually pretty good, all things considered. But more is never a bad thing. Just checking my resistances for Thalnosh. I'm not expecting any issues from him. This is a pretty high damage build, and the biggest threat, I guess, you have from him is that he does his special attacks before you kill him. If you see crystals, you do not have a high damage build. Alright, so there he goes. Alright, they should all die before he's attackable, and there he is. Alright, we push the damage button, we curse him, and he should die before he really does much of anything at all. There he goes. Of Cage Souls, +3 to raise skeletons. We'll have a look at that, we'll compare it, etc. He can drop, I believe, 2. So he can drop 1 or 2 rings. This one is level 70. Skills are all the same. Bleeding is a little bit more. Missing Chaos Res, 3% health instead of 4. This is not really good. I'll hang on to it just in case, but probably not going to wear that. I'm pretty sure I've already done the transmuting quest on the way past, but let's go throw some Eldritch Essences. Do I have Eldritch Essences? I have 4. Okay, so we'll throw a couple at it and just see what happens. I'm in the wrong place. I'm trying to turn the quest in rather than use the inventor. Oh, there was one there anyway. How about that? Alright, so transmute. Make sure you have this one checked. Transmute a set into another part of the same set. If you have this one checked... oh wow, did you use a scrap for blue ones? This will turn it into a different set, so make sure you have part of the same set. Alright, so there's another ring. So we can get the 2 set bonus, 5% to all stats, as well as 2 more good resistances. So let's chuck that on. That's destroyed absolutely and utterly my skeleton levels. What are we up to now? 21, so +4. Can we get another +1 from somewhere? No, that'd normally be coming from the relic. That's fine, 25 will be okay. Having this set on is pretty good. I'm pretty sure that pendant is going to be the amulet, so if I get that, I would love to use it. But, oh, hang on, salvage. Keep the add-on, there we go. So I'm looking for a new chest. I kind of want to get that extra, well, the 3rd piece of that set. Having said that, we're coming up on 10 levels, or we are 10 levels above it, so it may not actually be able to drop at this point. But it's probably worth doing a couple of Gloomworld runs, and maybe a few other totems as well, just to try and get some. Totems are really good for blue items. I think I mentioned that earlier. So if you're looking for totems, if you're looking for blue items, you want to do totems. Shattered Realm is actually not as good as totems for blue items. It's definitely better for legendaries, but for blue items, totems are always your best source of blue items. Granted, there's a lot of blue items in the pool, so chances of me getting another piece of that set are probably pretty low. But it is a really nice set. Having said that, if you also don't have this set, like, say you're level 60 and you don't have any of this set, it's fine. You don't need it. These rings are more than good enough. Just get 2 of these with good resistances. Get yourself a Deathwatcher pendant with good resistances, and that'll be fine. That is all you need to go to Ultimate. I'm probably wasting time, if I'm being honest, trying to get this extra blue. Having said that, like I said, I do need a new... I need a new chest piece anyway. I don't want to go into Ultimate with a level 40 chest piece at level 60. It's not a good idea to have that big of an armor deficit, even just for a couple of levels. I mean, Act 1 is still Act 1. It's still full of zombies that are slow, and you're probably going to be fine. But just checking for chest pieces. You're probably going to be fine because they are still just zombies, and it doesn't matter how hard they hit, they're slow enough that you can just walk away from them. So chances of actually dying to a pack of zombies in Act 1 Ultimate is very, very low, even if you have bad armor in one of your slots. Alright, come on boys. Get her down. There we go. And we're good. Imperial Raiment. Nah. So I'm running through here. I want the treasure troves. I want the totems. I'm probably going to stop after this. Maybe I'll do one more Star Fury Emerald. Anchorite's Headguard is actually pretty good. We kind of can't use it. All my pets are gone. What happened there? That was probably Avril Lavigne. Her singing was bad enough that it just wiped out my army. Happens sometimes. No heroes here. That's a little bit strange. We'll kill these off though, because there's a decent chunk of Wendigos here, and they do have a medal that... I mean, this isn't horrible. Incorruptible of Venom is decent. But upgrades are upgrades, right? This looks fine. I'll go do this totem, and then we might even just go have a look-see in Ultimate and just see what's going on. So damage on this is definitely enough that we can more or less just kill stuff. No chest pieces here. Oh, here we go. Resistant of Blight. Okay, resistant is giving fire and lightning resistance, which is Garbo, and then of Blight is poison stuff, so that's no good. I could just wear this entirely for the armor, but I don't think I'm going to. We do have some components we can do, though. Maybe we look at making that prismatic diamond. That's going to give me a little more vitality. I do need probably a soul shard on the rings, or on the ring. There we go. Oh, and I got a level up as well, so I'm going to put a couple in spirit here. And for the skill points, I am leaning towards just chucking more in occultist here. I did say that I was thinking about putting 2 more in here just to get the heal up to 20%, which is not horrible, but it does feel like I'm spending skill points just to satisfy my OCD, so maybe that's not a good idea. 2 more points in vulnerability does increase the resistance shred here. This might be the way to go. In the guide, I'm pretty sure I had this as one of the last things, but I think I'm going to spend them there. Okay, let's have a look at that prismatic diamond. I'm not going to have the stuff for it. Okay, Wrathstone is easy. There we go. What else we got? Arcane Spark is Black Legion from memory, and then Radiant Gem is going to be a dense fur, a rigid shell, and then the other one is... I can't remember what the other one is. We'll just look it up. Molten Shell, there we go. Wow, I cannot spell today. Okay, Molten Shell. There we go. And then we go Radiant Gem. Okay. Arcane Spark, I almost certainly don't have, so let's bounce on over to Homestead. This is where you find out that you don't have enough Black Legion reputation to buy it. Actually, it should be fine. It would be slightly amusing and also annoying, but... Okay, Arcane Spark, there it is. 12 Chthonic Seals of Binding. Well, that's going to be fun. I should have that. Yeah, I do. Well, I can make 2 of those? That is nuts. Okay, Prismatic Diamond. There we go. This kind of hurts. This also kind of hurts. This is very expensive. Having said that, though, Prismatic Diamond is the best helmet component for hardcore, pretty much without exception. There are a few times where I might use this, like if I'm playing maybe a Commando, I might use this, because both Soldier and Demolitionist have pretty good circuit breakers built into the class, and then you can get another 1 or 2 from the Devotion tree. But for a Cabalist, we don't have a circuit breaker anywhere between these 2 classes. So I've got, I've got the Tortoise, and that's it. So I absolutely want to get this. The other thing you want to look at before going to Ultimate is you want to look at all the places where there are devotion points available. So there are 49 in normal, and I've got 39, which means there are 10 devotion points out there that I haven't got yet. One of them is... that might be the one I'm thinking of. But there are 9 here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 2 more that I haven't got yet. One is going to be in the Tomb of the Eldritch Sun, so may end up doing that regardless. There's one in Steps of Torment, which I think I got. There's going to be one over in Port Valbury, which I haven't got. There's one in the Bastion of Chaos, which I haven't got. There's going to be one in the Ancient Grove, which I haven't got. There's a few of them. Best way to actually check which ones you are missing is if you go to grimdawn.com/checklist, you can actually upload your character. There'll be a section there. It'll tell you to find the player.gdc file, and you can upload your character, apply it to the profile, and you can't see it, but just over here on the left, I actually have a list of all the shrines that I have and have not got. So this is telling me that there's one in Eastmarsh, so let's go get it. It's a bit of a trek out there, and it definitely helps if you go to the correct rift. But devotion points are something that is worth getting. Now, I'm not going into Port Valbury just because it's quite dangerous. I don't recommend going there pretty much at all unless you need one of the monster infrequents from there. It's just not worth it. 10 scrap. Alright, let's go to the closest bank. Port Valbury, very, very dangerous. Good chance that you're going to die just from the floor being made out of lava. So strongly recommend against going to Port Valbury for a devotion point. Now, if you need to go there for a monster infrequent, or you want to go there because you enjoy it or something like that, knock your socks off, go nuts. But it is very, very rippy, and unless there is a good reason to go there, I would recommend against it. Having said that, we're out here. We may as well do the Temple of 3 as well. I mean, it's a devotion point. It's also a skill point. And there's kind of not a good reason to not do it. Most of the damage, most of the reason that the temple is worth avoiding is all the poison on the floor. But we have Blood of Dreeg. Our pets don't care about poison. So we could definitely do that. I'll have to go get the stones out of the bank, but that's fine. Oh, hey, look at that. That is a direct upgrade. I did say I wanted a new chest piece. I just got the better version. So we can probably go to Ultimate with this. Let's chuck that on. Hello? 65. Okay, this is worthless. Okay, so Perdition, very good set, but unfortunately, this is better at level 65, so we're not using that. I was thinking it was level 60 for some reason. You would think with the number of times I've whinged about the Perdition set dropping that I would know what levels it was. So it's going to be 40, 65, and 94. So there you go. Alright, we will have to fight Cabalist to get to the devotion point here. Actually, we don't need to kill it. We don't need to kill Cabalist. We can just sick the pets on it and go over and grab the shrine. So you can see the shrine on the map now. So we can... I mean, we'll probably just kill it anyway. There is also some hidden off-the-map loot down here, which I always enjoy getting. Glacial of the Eagle. So pretty good stats on that. Good resistances. But yeah, no. No, we won't be getting that. Alright, so East Marsh here. We'll send the boys in. This is just pay I think it's a Severed Claw. Marrowband is a little bit of a trap. So that physical to vitality conversion is really not what you want for this build, because we are doing fire. You'll be converting part of your physical to vitality, and then you cannot convert it again. So even though 94 vitality to fire, it doesn't convert the already converted damage. So you would be lowering your damage by wearing these. As much as they do look like they would actually be pretty good, they are definitely not. Formidable of Celerity could be good. It's not. We'll do the temple. Why not? We get the temple done. Will I do the whole thing? I can't really see a reason not to, if I'm being honest. Alright, let's grab those. Go ahead and chuck any components in there. We'll eat the Mask of Infernal Truth blueprint, and we'll be on our way. I was really excited about the chest guard of Perdition there, and now I'm just... my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. But hey, what are you going to do? Just going to complain about it. We'll pop the loot here too, why not? Alright, unfortunately this is just going to be a little bit of backtracking. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. It's either backtracking or forward tracking. The temple's kind of halfway between where we were and where the closest rift gate is. So it doesn't matter if I rift out and run back or if I just start running. Either way, it's not really going to help. The good news is we're pretty much there. If you are going to do this... Ooh, that's a lot of armor. Can I use that without bricking? Nope. No, I cannot. Okay, that's fine. Sealed by someone, but by the power of my 3 rocks, be unlocked. Alright, so we are officially outside the world at this point. And, you know, you can just rush through this. You don't have to kill any of it. Do be careful about rushing too far ahead of your pets, though. It is entirely possible that you end up just running around a corner and getting one shot. Probably you'll be fine. But probably you'll be fine isn't going to make you feel better if you're not included in that probably section. Okay. I'm going to kill anything with a star above its head because I like loot. And also because I like reputation. That looks like it's mostly dead. All of the boys are still, well, we'll just ignore the Hellhound, but the rest of everybody's still alive. Like I mentioned, most of the goop on the floor in here is going to be poison, and so having Blood of Dreeg more or less means you can ignore it. You definitely can't, but it will help the pets a lot. Venom Blade, Resolute of Arcane Lore. Not really. Alright, we're going to keep moving. Do I have Bismil legs? I don't. Okay, so it's not worth farming another one of those. I should probably go kill Thalnosh again. Although having said that, if I'm using those 2 rings, it's probably fine. Fine not to, that is. Alright, let's get out of the goop. There's always goop. Alright, Skelly Bros are getting absolutely wrecked. Even with all the resistances, they're not loving it. Let's put it that way. We are almost there. The Devotion Shrine is on the top left side of the map, so let's head up there now. It's a fight for me shrine, which, you know, not particularly dangerous. Although it would help if I'd cleared all that out before I came over here. Mighty of Scorched Ends, got a bit of Chaos res there. I kind of need that bleeding res though, so I think we'll leave that. I like totems. Eldritch is a little bit scary. It should hopefully be okay, but Eldritch is a little bit scary, let's put it that way. Nemesis, we can eat that. Boots, no, that's less armor. I think we're probably not going to use any of that. We'll eat the blueprints though. There we go. And now the only thing left really that matters is killing the Guardian at the end. So let's just mosey on over there. And walk past most of this stuff. Alright, Guardian. We are going to blow him up fast enough that we don't really need to talk about mechanics. Although it would help if the mages were not trying to blow the wall up, and were instead trying to kill the boss. There we go. Generally speaking, just stay away from the crystals, and you should be okay. Let's eat that blueprint, and we can talk to the attendant here. I have come to learn from the gods. I am ready to receive this gift. Okay, 1 skill point. Now, if you hadn't done this, and you had instead just gone to Ultimate, and then done this in Ultimate, when you turn this in here in Ultimate, he would give you 3. Now that I've done this in Normal, he is only going to give me 2 in Ultimate, because you don't get extra stuff. They just give you the option of completing, or getting the bonuses, quest rewards from lower difficulties. Alright, so that's that. Let's bring up the actual guide here, and we'll have a look at devotion points here. And do I have any partially complete? I think we were doing Typhus, weren't we? Yeah, it's going to be Typhus. Let me double check, but I'm almost certain it's Typhus. It is indeed Typhus, and then we are going for Bismael's Bonds. However, getting bleeding and poison resist for both me and the pets is really good. The poison, kind of who cares. But 15% bleeding, for me, really good. That actually caps me. And for the pets, bleeding is one of the more difficult to get resistances. Where are we? Bleeding, we're at 15%. So that devotion is the only one that we have got. Elemental, poison, that's all capped. Piercing's a little bit higher than bleeding, but still not amazing. Vitality resist is, I believe, capped for the skeletons. 56% on the skellies, yeah, so they should be pretty close to capped. Actually, they are exactly capped. The other pets are not. And then Aether and Chaos Res. Once we get to the point where we can use the... which is the augment? Hang on a second. Pet resistances. At level 65, Mender's Powder. So, can we buy that? It's from Malnith Resistance. At level 40, you can get the Rifthound Salts, but I don't actually have the reputation for that. Where is Devil's Crossing? Pretty sure you need Honored. I'll go check just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Let's just double check. Nothing there. Yeah, these ones here. I can actually use these. Okay. So we want Mender's Powder. That one there. We can buy these. At level 65, 3 of those go onto our jewelry. So this will basically fix resistances. Once you have 3 Mender's Powders, that's it. Except for bleeding, and to a lesser extent piercing, your pets will not die. Or at least not from standing in goop. So definitely get these. I didn't think I'd have enough, what is this called? Enough reputation. If you're playing a ritualist, then you will need the level 90 pet resistance augment. That's going to be Silvaria's Essence from the Coven. We have Blood of Drig though, so we don't care about that one. And then the other one is over in Devil's Crossing, which I'm pretty sure I don't have the reputation for. Let's go have a quick look. What are we calling this one? Rifthound Salts. Oh, how about that? Not enough reputation. Having said that, 3% total speed would be nice. 8% chaos res for the pets would be nice. But the elemental resist, they're already capped, and they don't get the penalty when you go to ultimate, so we don't care about that. Speaking of ultimate, we can probably go have a look. Let's just quickly have a look what other devotion shrines we can get our hands on. There's one in Port Valbury, I'm not doing that. One for Mogdrogan's Shrine, I'm not doing that. One in Bastion of Chaos. Bastion of Chaos is going to cost, I think, 40 scrap to get to, so that's a skip. That's like more than half of my scrap, so no. Then we've got the Ancient Grove, which we can just walk in and grab that one. Shattered Realm I'm skipping. And then there's 3 more technically in Forgotten Gods, but I think I'm going to skip those 2. Let's just go poke our head in the Ancient Grove. That's a relatively short walk. And then we'll go have a look at resistances and ultimate. And I think we may even just get started on ultimate. All these blues and purples, you can blow them up at the inventor and get some rare crafting stuff out of them. I think I'm just going to sell them. I did just whinge that I needed scrap, so I probably should have blown them up. But I mean, I've only got 8 dynamite. I don't really want to go farm Aether Shards. So I'm happy with a little bit of extra dosh. Alright, all this stuff, just run past it. If you don't have the component, the helmet component, the prismatic diamond here, this is a good time to go and get it. Bring a skeleton key with you. Actually, you won't need to, because Mogdrogan is going to give us one at the door, so don't worry about a skeleton key. But you will have to spend it. Now, I'm not going to spend it. Actually, I will. I'll show you what to do. Why not? Show, don't tell. Okay, let's get rid of this corrupted guy. All that aether goop on the floor. Okay, so talk to Mogdrogan here. What do you ask of me? Accept his quest. Tell him you'll deal with his problem. He will give you a skeleton key. You will need it in order to get to the merchant in the Ancient Grove. The Devotion Shrine, though, if you just want the Devotion Shrine, like if you already have the Prismatic Diamond, or you're happy just skipping it, I mean, don't, but if you're happy just skipping it, then that's fine as well. You don't have to do this, you can keep your skeleton key for later. But I will actually go in there and show you where to go. But anyone who's been playing for a while, you'll know Vinelton. You'll know where he lives. Let's go ahead and grab one more here. So this one is Fizzres for the pets. Total speed for you, and stun and mind control duration reduction for the pets. That's all well and good. This is also good, and this is also good. I'm just going to take that. It doesn't really matter which one you end up using. First, you're going to get them all. Where does this go? I usually don't go this way. Normally I go down the south side, but let's give it a shot. Okay, there is loot in the walls all through here. I'm going to skip all that this time. There's a door over there you can open. There's hidden stash or something behind that. I'm going to skip it all, just in the interest of time. And then I guess we probably should go... you know what? I'm going to skip the Forgotten Gods stuff too. Don't really need it, so we'll just skip that in the interest of getting into Ultimate a little bit quicker. We are definitely ready for Ultimate. It's just going to be a matter of fixing a couple of resistances, and it is absolutely fine to go into Ultimate with, like, a few resistances under, especially, like, Aether. I mean, I'm going to be fine, but if your Aether resist is 50% in... Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. Is 50% in Ultimate, that's going to be fine for Act 1. And you've got all of Act 1 and most of Act 2 to fix it. I really wish I hadn't hit this, because I did just hit Honored with Coven, and I really want to go and get the Writ, but that's fine. Okay, so we're in the Feral Thicket. Feral's not capitalized, but Thicket is. It's a little bit weird, but whatever. Circode of Mogdrogan. That's pet stuff. We could definitely have a look at that. That's level 72, so that's no good. Do watch out for the albino manticore in this area. Can be a little rippy. But otherwise, we're just kind of going up and to the left here. We've got a spider there. Everybody loves spiders, right? So, we'll set the pets on these things. There we go. Cowl of the Blind Assassin. Lovely blueprint. Just eat that. Alright, so we want to go across the bridge here. This is another spot. The albino manticore, I think he spawns on normal, but he'll only drop the relic on, or the blueprint for the relic on ultimate. He may not actually spawn on normal, in which case don't stress about him because you're not going to see him. But if you do see him, just be careful, he's a little bit rippy. But otherwise, we want to go up here to Vinelton and his all-natural wares. And does he have... There we go, Prismatic Diamond. Like I mentioned earlier, it's almost always here on the first page, the first time you come and see him. And the rest of this is kind of whatever. There might be a ring or something like that with some really good resistances on it. So it's worth having a look. You can also find triple rares from this guy. None of this, I think, is actually any good. What you can do is search for double. And if anything's glowing, there's a double rare. Nothing's glowing, and the Prismatic Diamond was the only reason I came here. So there is the blueprint if you want it, and you do. If you're playing softcore, don't stress about it, but definitely for hardcore, go ahead and get yourself one of those. Right. Let's chuck that into Spirit. I think we wanted 17, so that's fine. And then we'll put more points into Vulnerability. Getting this maxed out will really help our damage. And yeah, this is all we need to do. Now, you can go through and fight Gargle Walls. Strongly recommend against it on hardcore, because he will kill you. Gargle Ball is very, very difficult. He will eat your pets, and then he will eat your face. It's just not worth it. Alright, so in Ultimate, Elemental Resistance looks bad. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. It's fine. So we're fine across everything except a little bit of Chaos we're missing, and we're missing some Piercing and Bleeding. So what we're going to do is we're going to go craft a Silk Swatch. Not here, because we don't have a blacksmith here. Forgot about that. Alright, so I'm going to go back to normal. We're going to rip these two components off. We'll put a Scaled Hide on the chest, and we'll put a Silk Swatch on the pants. Doesn't really matter where these are, so that's fine. But we know we need a little bit of Chaos Resistance, and we need some Bleeding and Piercing. And the easiest way to get that is to just make a couple of component changes. You didn't see anything there. Okay, so back to Devil's Crossing. I also want to grab the Coven... whatchamacallit? Yes, that is the technical term. Coven whatchamacallit. The Writ. There we go. Words are hard. Alright, Scaled Hide. Bingo, bango, bongo. You want the Scaled Hide on your chest. And then a Silk Swatch. I'm going to make one of these, and then I'm going to go look in the bank. And I'm going to be upset when I find one that's already there. Oh, I didn't have one. How about that? Winning. Did I have a Scaled Hide, though? I didn't. Wow, that's unusual. Okay. So resistances are going to be better. We're still going to be uncapped on piercing. Bleeding is going to be fine. Everything else is going to be fine except a little bit of chaos. We don't have reputation, I don't think, for any of the armor augments. What you could do if you were desperate to have all of your resistances maxed before you go to ultimate, you could do some Black Legion bounties. You could go and grind a whole bunch of Black Legion reputation in the city of Malmouth. I would say don't bother. It's really just not worth it. You absolutely can do it, but there's really no need for it. Being a little bit under cap in chaos, I mean, there's, short of the occasional hero who maybe you'll have to deal with, there's basically no chaos damage in the campaign until Homestead. So if chaos is a little bit low, whatever, who cares? Same with piercing and bleeding. Well, bleeding we're fine with, but piercing, you don't really need it in Act 1. It's more of an Act 2 kind of thing. So if you're a little bit under in piercing when you go to ultimate, not the end of the world. You can work on getting some more during Act 1. You could even drop this scaled hide and put another silk swatch on. Our armor rating is not great. Okay, when we go to ultimate, our armor is not going to be providing huge amounts of protection. So the difference in absorption between 98% and 84%, we're probably not even going to notice it. So that is something you can do as well. Armor absorption is really important for builds that have higher values of armor. For builds that are wearing paper armor or cloth caster armor, skipping a second scaled hide is maybe even advisable, because we'll be getting hit for significantly more than our armor rating. And so 30% of the damage going through our armor just doesn't matter, because we weren't going to mitigate that damage anyway. So dropping the scaled hide for another silk swatch is maybe even something that I'm going to do. However, that's going to have to wait for the next episode, because I am going to end this one here. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in ultimate difficulty, and goodbye for now.